What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today, ETH. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 26th day of August, and here we are at about $4,600 with 3 hours and 28 minutes left in the day. We did find support, you guys. We did find support at $4,300, which was where all these longs we get cleared out was $4,300. We refreshed this page. I mean, this is updated right here. Remember, all the shorts were outweighing Ethereum on the daily, on the 7-day, on the 30-day. Now we look at each of those. The longs are the ones that are outweighing the shorts, which is just ridiculous. And by the amount of outweighing over the past 24 hours, you guys, there's like $3.6 billion in longs that have gotten piled on, most of which would be cleared out if we went back to $4,300. I'm not saying Ethereum goes down there. I'm just saying this is crazy, crazy volatility. And I would be surprised if we continued on to new all-time highs with all these freshly loaded longs, because this is over the past 24 hours. There's a lot of exposed longs that get cleared out if we move below this level here, right? That doesn't mean that we have to move lower. It's just crazy. It's crazy how just this switches. I mean, look at my most recent Ethereum video versus this one. It's crazy how much this has flip-flopped over the past 24 hours or over the past 12 hours even. It's probably been more like 18 hours since my last video. But low to high here, bounced right off the golden ratio zone as intended. Now, typically with the golden ratio, if you do bounce here and you are to go lower, you would find resistance in the 382.5 area. The fact that you're a little bit above there now is somewhat compelling, and even the 4 hour before this closed barely above the 382, it's somewhat compelling that we would go higher. But if we make an immediate move back down here, especially if we get below 4480, and specifically that 4,480, if we get a 4 hour time frame, not just to move below there, but to close below there, $4,480 if we close below there on Ethereum on a 4 hour time frame or a higher time frame. At that point, I would think that it is safe to assume that we do go lower than $4,300. We probably do clear out all these longs, and we would likely see prices back down at 4240 to 4150, somewhere around there. Okay, very, very possible to do. Okay. With this kind of reaction that we're seeing now, it's very positive, it's very bullish, and it's nice to see. But man, we've been very volatile over the past couple weeks now. I wouldn't be surprised if we were volatile here. You look at the daily time frame, 3 hours, 26 minutes left. The way that it looks here is just phenomenal. It looks like you can't be beat, like you're going to continue to move up. But understand, we're kind of just outside of that area where you would validate this as a low. But if we turn around here, if we don't get that confirmation and continuation here, then I would say it's good enough for a rejection here that would compel me to believe that we go lower here. I doubt that we go below $4,000. I don't at this point in time believe that we go lower than that low, but it is very, very possible still that we could go lower than what we saw today, even below $4,300, mainly because of how many freaking longs there are piled on. I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't think we need to go down and clear out all those longs before we move higher. I don't think it's a necessity. It doesn't need to happen. There are a lot of other outside factors besides just, leveraged positions that do influence the price and take it higher. I want to look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out from there. Okay. And see if we can divulge some more information. 1 hour MACD, got to be honest, looks pretty good. I really do like the 1 hour MACD. The fact that you're looking like you want to cross above the zero here is nice. You just have to keep going. A turnaround, understand, guys, Ethereum's at a very critical kind of moment here. If we were to drop, like you're at 4,600 now, if we were to drop down to 4,400 or lower, what was it? Was it 4,480? Was that the area? Come on. Load up for me. Let's put it back on the 4 hour time frame. It's this low to this high. We're not going to take the fake out high. Let's actually use this fib. I like this fib more than that fib, actually. The one that we had earlier was based on the daily, but based on the 4 hour, I like this. 4150. If you get below, so change 4180 to 4150. If we get below 4150, at that point, things would actually be bad. So I don't think we get below 4150. But if we do get below 4450, we might go down that low, right? 4150, 42... 25, something in that area there. We're at $4,600 now. So understand, if we do get below 4450, getting below 4450, that would likely invalidate this low and promote the idea of us going higher. But the fact that I do like this fib more if we're looking at it here in this kind of context, we are actually well above the 382. So this is actually pretty compelling evidence that we are at the low. I keep going back and forth. Are we at the low? Are we not at the low? I'm starting to believe that we are. I really am starting to believe. The only thing that's holding me up is just the amount of long positions there are. But we've had heavy long positions before, and Ethereum still continue to move up. So it's definitely not the end all be all. And how we're finding support, what we're doing here, it's exactly what you'd want to see if you were finding, like just based off the fibs here, this is the exact kind of reaction you'd want if you were to continue to move higher. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, stochastics are bullish as hell. The RSI needs to get overbought. Again, we're at a critical moment here where if we don't continue to push higher, that's where I got distracted. If we don't continue to push higher here, all hell breaks loose, right? If we don't get if we don't get away from this 4450 area, we don't push higher, get into that $4,700 area soon, like it needs to happen within the next 24 hours, then I would think that we stand a chance of coming back down, rejecting some key areas here on the MACD. But it's the 1 hour time frame. It's not the most significant time frame. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame here. 4 hour, getting deeper in the overbought zone, hating the oversold zone. That is very bullish in itself. The stochastics are getting held up at the 50. That's not that bullish. Right here, we found support. We moved up. We got held up at the 50, and then we went lower. Right? Could we be doing the same thing here? Here, it's like you scooped the zero. You're finding support at the zero, but then inevitably went down. You're kind of doing that same thing here if you go lower from here. Right? So hold up, continue to rally. Hopefully by the end of the day, you're at higher prices. Hopefully we're not just above 46, but above $4,700. If not by the end of today, then sometime tomorrow. It needs to happen. It needs to happen soon, because anything else leaves the door open, in my opinion, for a rejection here. And if we're looking at this with that in mind, let's just see high to low here. Right above the 382. I don't know. I think we're fine. I like that 236 right there. Again, we can go below 4450 and everything's fine. If we close below 4450 on a 4 hour time frame, or even maybe multiple hours in a row, below $4,450, then at that point, I think it's inevitable that we do go not just below 4,300, but probably below 4,200, or at least somewhere around 4,220 to 4,150. Okay. I really doubt that we go below $4,000, but time will tell. We'll see how it goes. Looking at this on the daily time frame, Ethereum's very bullishly postured on the daily time frame. Stochastics look great. MACD is finding a little bit of turbulence, but that's okay. I'm not really worried about that. Weekly time frame, MACD's got a fresh cross above the zero. Stochastics are bullish as hell, and the weekly time frame is bullish as hell as well. It's not bearish divergence. It looks kind of like a momentary double top, but we have 5 days, 4 hours left in this week. Let's see if this week can close green. Maybe we do get this end of month rally, and if we can hold out and just continue to rally right here, I mean, this could look really, really good. Instead of turning around here, getting some separation from this prior high, I mean, there's no telling how high Ethereum will go in its RSI. If it were to go all the way up here above the 85, going up to that high, that's phenomenal. If we get above the 90 on the weekly time frame, you guys, Ethereum's going to be making moves very, very fast at a very rapid pace here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we're looking at this from an overall high from back in December of 2024 to the low on April 7th, high to low. The intended target area that I would expect we go to before really stopping would be $5,500 at a minimum to $8,000, right? And likely we're going to go to $8,000, I think, sometime by the end of September, if not sometime in October. So we probably do find turbulence along the way, 5,500, 6,500 namely, right? But ultimately, I think we are on a path to $8,000. So good things are coming. We just have to make up our minds right here. I think we are at a rather delicate position. And again, looking at this on a daily time frame, it looks like we're robust. And maybe that's true. Maybe it's a false look. Let's see how the day closes, okay? And also, let's see how tomorrow carries out. I think it's essential that we get away from this area, that we move up higher. Ideally, tomorrow, if we close above $4,700 tomorrow, or today, ideally today, the sooner that we start getting significant prices above 4,700, the better. But ultimately, we need to get new highs, man. We need to get moving, because right here, specifically right here, we are really at a pivotal moment on the 4 hour time frame and the 1 hour time frame for a couple of key indicators. And that could be the difference between Ethereum moving up right now or coming down, dilly-dallying, and then maybe it's, like the first week of September, like it's pushed back a whole nother week, right? I don't know about you guys, but instead of waiting a whole nother week, I'd rather see this thing just rip right now. But we can wait another week, give us lower prices. We'll buy more. That's okay too. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Bitcoin's holding up a little bit better than I thought it would too. I was calling for Bitcoin in my most recent video to go a little bit lower, mainly because of the amount of longs that are piled on, but maybe I'll be proven wrong with that. Maybe we do actually find support here and move up higher, which would be phenomenal. And I think Ethereum really does hold the key, right? Ethereum's kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's the one that people are paying attention to a lot right now. All eyes are on Ethereum at the moment. And I think if this thing continues to rally, especially if we get to new all-time highs and sustain them, we don't just prod up there, that would be a definite signal that the crypto markets are healthy. We're ready to move up. I can't imagine Bitcoin's going to be dropping another from here, like $5,000 or $4,000 if Ethereum's moving up to new all-time highs. Anything can happen, but I think it really does depend on what this does here. If I had to be just plain and concise and tell you what my thoughts are, I would say that there are some things that I'm concerned about on the Ethereum chart, but overall, I'm bullish. Overall, I think I've seen enough where I'm pretty comfortable calling this the low. There's some things that have me hesitant to do that. And if we went lower than this low, I wouldn't be too surprised. I wouldn't be thrown off by that. But as long as we're above 44.50, I got no problems calling for that to be the low. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully we get above $4,700 soon and up to new all-time highs. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and shout out to All American Crave for this sick bucket hat and some other cool clothes that they've given me. Check them out. I'll leave a pinned link in the comment below. I'll leave a pinned comment in the link. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Shout out to Anthony. Bye-bye.